It was still. All was dark. No one was inside. With trembling fingers, she reached out to touch the word that ruined all her planning and organizing efforts of the last couple of weeks. Cancelled. The word that no one had bothered to tell her. She swallowed hard, and her organized brain ticked as she wondered who to call. The area library manager, Clive Folds, was taking his wife to the Lobster Pot Bistro for a Valentine's dinner. He was the one who'd set up Lucinda's appearance with her publisher. Pregnant library assistant Suki MacDonald was cooking something Japanese for her boyfriend Ben to persuade him to give things another try between them. Everything had been left for Martha to sort out. Again. "You'll live on your own, so you have more time," Clive had told her when he'd asked her to take charge of the event preparations. "You don't have personal commitment." Martha's chest tightened as she remembered his words, and she let her arms fall heavily to her sides. Turning back around, she took a deep breath and forced herself to straighten her back. Never mind, she thought. There must be a good reason for the cancellation, a serious illness, or perhaps a fatal road accident. Anyone who turned up would see the poster. Better just set off home and get on with my other stuff, she muttered. Leaning over her trolley, Martha grabbed hold of its sides and heaved it around to face in the opposite direction. As she did, a clear plastic box slid out, crashing to the path. When she stooped to pick it up, the biscuits lay broken inside. It was only then she noticed the brown paper parcel propped against the bottom of the door. It was rectangular and tied with a bow and a crisscross of string, probably left there by the shadowy figure. Her name was scrawled on the front. She stooped down to pick it up, then pressed her fingers along its edges. It felt like a book. Martha placed it next to the box of broken biscuits in her trolley. "Really?" she tutted, the things readers tried to avoid paying their late return fees. She wrenched back on the trolley as it threatened to pull her down the hill. The brown paper parcel juddered inside as she negotiated the cobbles. She passed sugared almond-hued houses, and the air smelled of salt and seaweed. Laughter and the strum of a Spanish guitar sounded from the lobster pot, and she paused for a moment. Martha had never eaten there before. It was the type of place frequented by couples. Through the window, she glimpsed Clive and his wife with their foreheads almost touching across the table. Candles lit up their faces with a flickering glow. His mind was obviously not on the library. If she's not careful, Mrs. Folds' hair is going to catch fire, Martha thought, averting her eyes. I hope there's a fire extinguisher in the dining area. She fumbled in her pocket for her Wonder Woman notepad and made a note to ask the bistro owner, Branda Taylor. When Martha arrived home to her old grey stone cottage, she parked the trolley up outside. She had found it there, abandoned a couple of years ago, and she adopted it for her ongoing mission to be indispensable, a #1 neighbour. Bundling her stuff out of the trolley and into the hallway, she stooped and arranged it in neat piles on the floor, then wound her way around the wine bottles. She found a small, free space on the edge of her overcrowded dining table for the brown paper parcel. A fortnight ago, on a rare visit, her sister, Lillian, had stuck her hands on her hips as she surveyed the dining room. "You really need to do something about this place, Martha," she said, her eyes narrowing. "Getting to your kitchen is like an obstacle course. Mum and Dad wouldn't recognize their own home." Her sister was right. Betty and Thomas Storm liked the house to be spick and span, with everything in its place. But they had both died 5 years ago, and Martha had remained in the property. She found it therapeutic, after their passing, to try to be useful and fill the house with stuff that needed doing. The brown velour sofa, where the three of them had watched quiz shows one after another, night after night, was now covered in piles of things. Thomas liked the colour control on the TV turned up, so